Hey you guys, I'm starting something new. We're going to do 5 variations of a yoga pose, hopefully in about 6 minutes. But I want to give a little bit of instruction before I tell you what the pose is going to be. 1, be curious. Always be curious. Try things out a little differently. I suggest using the scientific method. You know, I was a science teacher. So changing one variable at a time. Try it out in the pose, see how it lands. Then go to the next, starting from the floor and working up. So you're always working from the point of most stability to the point of least stability until you build and the 2 points meet and you suddenly feel that floating sensation of a good stable pose. The second is the stability. I just said it like 15 times. Be stable in the pose. If you're not feeling stable, then you need a variation. And that's what we're going to do today. 5 variations on downward facing dog. And it is a foundational pose for yoga. I've used it almost every single practice. On occasion, I might get a little creative and do it without down dog. But down dog is such a cool pose because it allows for strength and stretch. And when the two come together perfectly, it's balanced. Think of it like a seesaw. If you have too much strength, right? The seesaw does this. Too much stretch. Finding that perfect balance between strength and stretch, stable, okay? And it's constantly wavering from one side to the other, so there's a little bit of a wobble in there, right? And it's all good. All right, downward facing dog, your points of contact to the floor. We'll start from there. Your hands and your feet. Your hands, you want to be able to press hands down and forward, so you might find a little lift in the palm of your hand. I imagine it like there's a little ant. I don't want the ant to touch my hand, right? Underneath the palm. The feet, you might be on the balls of your feet, and you might have your heels all the way down. I cannot do that. I don't care how I change the pose. It's almost impossible for me to get my heels down. Some people can. But feel the difference. Be curious. Try different angles of your hands. Try different widths. Same with your feet. Try different widths. Side to side, a little front to back. All right, but the basics. Now, picture a big graph paper back here on the wall, right? Science teacher, sorry, I can't help it. Graph paper back here. And I want you to imagine the points of the line and look at the lines of the body with the graph paper, imaginary graph paper back here. So downward facing dog, right here. Now, if my hands are point A, the shoulders are point B, the hips are point C. Right? So this would be like an inverse relationship. The more forward and down my hands go, the more up and back my hips go. The inverse relationship. Now you do have the articulation of the cervical spine here, your neck. You want to keep that neutral between strong shoulders. All right? Now your shoulders can elevate, can depress. They can hammock, or they can slightly lift. Not they lift too much. Notice what happened to the lines of my graph. Find the balance, strength and stretch. All right, tailbone slightly lifted up. Knees are soft. When you lock the knees out, which is a common thing to see, locking the knees out, you lose some of the mobility of the hips. You want to keep the hips nice and fluid here. All right? Now, if I step way forward, it's not really a down dog anymore, it's almost a forward fold. All right? So you want to find that space, front to back, side to side. Find and be curious. Downward facing dog. All right, first variation I'm going to show you is to elevate the hands. One of the actions from downward facing dog is to step forward. Okay, so to step forward, I have to elevate my hands. So this is my favorite variation of downward facing dog. Elevate the hands on blocks. I suggest using cork blocks because they're more stable. Right, so from here, it's easier to make that step forward. A nice flat back. It's also easier to step back. Okay, so there's variation 1. If for some reason holding downward facing dog like that does not work for you, Try downward facing puppy. I like to use a blanket under the knees. I like to tuck the toes. Keep the hips high, reaching the hands forward, trying to find where I'm still on the camera screen there. All right, keeping the hands forward and you're leaning back. It's the same concept of the lines, only you're doing it from the knees. You're not hammocking into the shoulders. There's a lift, neutral neck. Okay? Next variation, a chair. Using the back of the chair as a similar height to a dining room table or a desk, so that gives you any ideas at work, right? You can place your hands on the back, soft bend to the knees. This time, you're going to be a little more level. There's not going to be quite as much angle. Careful about this hammock here. You want to find stability. Neutral neck. I tend to go with a little softer knee. You can also turn it around. This gives you a little more downward angle for this variation. All right. Downward facing dog, 5 variations, you guys. Do me a favor, tell me if you're having challenges with down dog. If there's something about it you're not quite sure, or you've tried it and you have a question, stick it down in the comments. If you're a teacher and you have a variation I didn't cover, hey, share it down there. Would love to hear from you.